the Supreme God can forgive the punishment of sinful deeds. Till now, every saint or great man we have met told us that sinful deeds can only be cut off by suffering the punishment of karma. Who is that Lord? Who can forgive sinful deeds? Who can free us from the bondage of Kal? What is his name? What is the method of worship to unravel all these mystical secrets? Must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
Now see what has been written here. First, they have mentioned that a lot of prophecies of Florence have come true. For example, Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq, fought a war with America. So many predictions of Florence have come true that no one casts any doubt on her prophecies. Even the scientists are in awe of her predictions every time. Florence has mentioned India, the country, in her predictions many times. In her book named The Fall of Sensational Culture, she has written that around the year 2000 AD, the balance of nature will deteriorate in a fearsome manner. That is, bad behavior, corruption, dishonesty will infest people. There will be a strong feeling of resentment in people. Misconduct will reach its peak. Those who lead a luxurious life in Western countries will have disappointment, restlessness, and unrest. Unfulfilled desires will escalate, due to which mutual bitterness will also rise. There will be an environment of violence and vandalism everywhere. The poor will snatch the properties of the rich. There will be such an environment that there will be an outcry everywhere. Now see. Now this foreteller is saying that had that saint not come, the plight of India would have become such that people would have started looting each other. Then instantly what she said is that due to the ideology of that saint, that lethal atmosphere would be averted. There will be such an environment that there will be an outcry everywhere, but a new ideology emerging from India will end this deadly atmosphere. That ideology will explain the importance of harmony and brotherhood with a scientific viewpoint. It will also explain this, that there is no mutual conflict between religion and science. It will bring to the light the supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism in front of everyone. Now, pious souls, understand the role of these foretellers to be this much. For instance, God has made a rule. He has made earth and sun and all the constellations, and it is predetermined that the sun will rise at 6:20 am. If someone having knowledge of geography, astronomy tells that on such a date the sun will rise at 6:20 am, even if he hadn't told, then also the sun would have risen at that time, because that God has already made that predetermined system. Even if these foretellers had not told, then also God has decided on that predetermined day this would have happened anyway. Now that these foretellers are telling, so it is even more a golden chance for all of you. All pious souls should not delay. Are these great souls telling lies? God has said it, all the saints are saying it, and even these foretellers are saying it, who were not even related to this country in any way. Even then, if you would not understand, then you are childish, without any intellect. Please see this. Like Das explains to you many times in every satsang spiritual discourse, Das explains to you what God had said earlier, and even now, majority of my satsang spiritual discourse are based on this subject, that what are you doing? You have become multi-billionaire by looting the world, and you left it all behind.
सर्व सोने की लंका थी वह रावण से रणधीरम, एक पलक में राज विराजी जम के पड़े जंजीरम.
Someone who was once a ruler of the world is today living in a burrow after becoming a rat. God says,
कहते राम रटत निर्धन भला, टूटी घर की छान, वह सुंदर महल किस काम के, जा भक्ति नहीं भगवान.
So here, Florence, our sister, is trying to say that by the ideology of that saint, supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism will be revealed. It is happening in front of you, and everybody's conscious is accepting that this is the case. They are saying that it will bring to light the supremacy of spirituality and the hollowness of materialism in front of everyone. The middle class will be influenced by that ideology a lot. Those of you who are coming here belong to the middle class and see how you are appearing here in great numbers and are considering everything this Das says to be final. Neither you have to give anything nor take anything from anyone. Marriage has to be accomplished in a simple way. We unnecessarily spend huge amount of money in marriage, and then we have made numerous unnecessary ceremonies. When Durga got Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh married, there was no one from the bride or the groom side. There was no one preparing sweets or playing DJ. She just said to Brahma, "This is your wife Savitri. Take her and settle down." She gave Lakshmi to Vishnu and said, "Son, this is your wife, go and settle down." And gave Parvati to Shankarji. That's it, marriage is accomplished. Everything else that we used to do is unnecessary nonsense. We kept a burden on our heads, we kept accumulating money all our lives by unfair means for those unnecessary things only, and in the end we used to leave everything here. Now please see, it will bring to light the hollowness of materialism. The middle class will be highly influenced by that ideology. This group will inspire all the groups of the society towards the development of a good society. This ideology will bring a miraculous change in the entire world. I perceive with my sixth sense that the great saint who will give rise to this viewpoint has taken birth in India. Please see here. Here it is written that a journalist had asked Florence in 1964. And the beginning of 1980 will take place with extensive upheaval. After 1979-1980, such earthquakes will occur that some part of New Jersey and places of many countries of Europe and Asia will be torn apart by the earthquake. Some will get submerged in water. The terror of Third World War will set in everyone's mind, and they will prepare for this war. But Indian politicians, not politicians, it is an indication towards that saint, will avert the Third World War. So she was alive till 1964. In 1964, she was young when she was telling all this. She must have lived another 10, 20, 30 years. She was alive until 1994, 95. So she had told at that time, she had also mentioned in 1964 that saint has taken birth. And she could at that time also see the current state of Das. She could see that. Please see here. I perceive with my sixth sense, that is, the sense that I have, that the great saint who will give rise to this viewpoint has taken birth in India. The influence of the brilliant personality of that saint will amaze everyone. His ideology will again give a new vigor to the decreasing influence of spirituality in the world. There will be a spiritual atmosphere everywhere. Wonderful. Das has been repeatedly saying that if God had not commenced his true bhakti via this Das, then in the coming 50 years there would have been no one taking the name of God in India. There would have been such an uproar. So this also has been mentioned here, that he will again uplift the degrading standard of spirituality. This is the meaning. The influence of the brilliant personality of that saint will amaze everyone. His ideology will again give a new vigor to the decreasing influence of spirituality. And there will be a spiritual atmosphere everywhere. The people influenced by the ideology of that saint will move towards the West for the welfare of the world. They will gradually spread completely in Asia, Europe and America. Everywhere. The entire world will be impressed by the viewpoint of that saint and will walk on his footprints. People of the Western countries will consider him to be Jesus Christ. People of the Western countries, for example, America, England, etc., will consider him to be Jesus. Muslims will consider him to be a true guide, and the people of Asia will regard him as an incarnation of God. An intellectual revolution will occur from the ideology of that great saint, intellectual meaning good, that is, wise people will join him. See here, the beliefs of the intellectual people will change. These people who consider themselves to be superior, these high officials, will be compelled to think that what are we doing, what should we have done? The beliefs of the intellectual people will change. Shoots of devotion and faith towards God will sprout in them. According to Florence, that saint has taken birth in India already. She was very much impressed by this saint. She has also written in another book of hers, Golden Light of New Era. When I meditate, then I frequently see a saint. He is fair-skinned. That is, he has a fair skin, and then that saint has a splendid radiance on his forehead. Rays of light of a heavenly body from the sky constantly keep showering on his forehead. Wonderful. Now, pious souls, you may see here, this is how the rays come. God is sitting above, right here in Satlok. He is showering his rays from there on this das in this way. It is coming from the skies above, and then the power of God is continually functioning in this das. From that only, you are further being given connection. The sister Florence is describing the same thing by seeing with her divine vision that rays of light from a heavenly body in the sky are continuously showering on his forehead, and the same power is further going into all of you. Please see here. When I meditate, then I frequently see that saint. He is fair-skinned. Now see, here he has forgotten to write something. Our devotees, based on a book that he has mentioned about. Please see. Another book, Golden Light of New Era. This is a book. Based on this book, our devotees have taken out some material from a website. It is as follows in English. Please see. It is this only. I can clearly visualize a golden era divine. She says that she keeps on seeing. See here. The translation in Hindi that he has done is from here. When I enter great flights of meditation, I visualize, I see. What is this sister saying? That when I enter great flights of meditation, that is, when I do my meditation, then what do I see? Please see. When I enter the great flights of meditation, I visualize such a great saint who is fair-skinned, that is, who has a fair complexion with white hair. He has grey hair without a beard or a moustache. He does not have any beard or moustache. And he has white hair. She was seeing this age of Das at that time, that at that time he will become famous. Now he has translated the same thing here, but a bit less. He might have forgotten. She has also written in another book of hers, Golden Light of New Era, when I meditate, then I frequently see a saint. He is fair-skinned. He forgot to write further that he has white hair and he is without beard or moustache. The thing is that some journalist has portrayed the prophecy uttered by her in his own way. So, these people's viewpoint was on another saint, that it might be him. It is written in this that he might be Sri Ram Sharma. The person has further written in this. Like the original text of Gita is correct. The original text is correct. But the translators had themselves put it down to Sri Krishna, that Sri Krishna is narrating Gita. So here he has intentionally left this that. He will have grey hair and he will not have any beard or moustache. Therefore he has left this here. Whereas it has been clearly written in the one in English. That is the prediction uttered by her in her language. Please see here, when I meditate, I often see a saint. He is fair-skinned. The saint has an amazing brightness on his forehead. Rays of light from a heavenly body constantly keep showering from the sky on his forehead. They continuously keep coming on him. I see that saint, through the power of his auspicious ideology and his followers enriched with virtuous character, is disseminating the light of new knowledge in the whole world. You can see that the children of Bandi Chhod, that is the liberator, by going to far-off places, are propagating the knowledge of God. That saint, through the power of his auspicious ideology and his followers, enriched with virtuous characters, disseminating the light of new knowledge in the whole world. That saint is continuously increasing his power. He has so much power that he can also cause changes to the nature. He will do his work in a scientific manner. By his grace and endeavors, a new awareness will come in the human civilization. A new consciousness will be transmitted through all the masses of the world. A new form of people power will emerge to the fore, which will put restraint on the arbitrariness of those in power, those in high power. The followers of the saint will compel the kings who act arbitrarily to behave sensibly. You have acted nonsensically for a long time. A new consciousness will be transmitted through all the masses of the world. A new form of people power will emerge to the fore, which will put restraint on the arbitrariness of those in power, on the politicians. A psychiatrist and world-renowned hypnotist, Dr. Maury Bernstein, was a good friend of Florence. Once she had also said to him, she told him that, "Doctor, that time is approaching very quickly when the society will listen to the statements of social workers like you much more carefully than that of the power-greedy politicians. By the arrival of the 21st century, a new ideology will influence the entire world. Organization of religious people with good character in every nation will change the wrong beliefs in the people's minds. This ideology will blossom in India, will commence in India, and it will spread in all the countries of the world. I am seeing an intense ascetic. on that holy place whose brilliance is spreading very quickly. That saint is trying day and night to awaken the dormant divinity in human beings and to make the earth like heaven. A journalist had asked Florence in 1964 whether she can tell the future of the world or not. In its reply, Florence had said that in 1980, this will happen. In 1990, this will happen. She had told everything. All right. What has she said further? Until the advent of the Third World War, the reins of India's control, she says here, the terror of the Third World War will set in everyone's mind, and the Indian politicians with their influence and intellect will become successful in averting the Third World War. Until the advent of the Third World War, the reins of India's control will be in the hands of people with spiritual disposition. Therefore, the World War will be averted by their influence. Those rulers will be impressed by the brilliant and revolutionary ideology of a great saint. They will be submitted to that saint in the same way as Washington was submitted to independence and humanity. Florence, a resident of New Jersey. New Jersey is a city in America. Florence, a resident of New Jersey, was really an extraordinary woman. Once a man called Nebel, this journalist has tried to show. He was trying to showcase that there was a reporter of America, and he was taking her interview, and that interview was being broadcast live on television. Live. He asks that you are telling a lot about a saint, but tell something about me. This is the account in this. Instead of reading it out, I'm narrating like that. It will be done quickly. So Florence said, "Let me tell you about yourself." She held his right hand and she said, "You will also do journalism in some other state. You will go there. So he was saying, he has written in this that I was telling her that you are joking with me. If people of my department would be hearing this interview, my boss, they will definitely sack me. I will not do any journalism in any other state, but will definitely lose my job. What a joke you are making. At that very moment, a phone came from my head office and it was for me only. I answered the call. My boss was saying that I am watching your interview. I am astonished. We have decided that we will send you to New York for propagation there. We will declare this tomorrow. It has been finalized. I am amazed. I am listening to your interview. How did this Florence come to know about it? Come soon. We have to send you over there. So the purport of this statement is that the interviewer is saying that her prophecy was so accurate. So she only is talking about that saint and it cannot be untrue. Now see this. Please see here. I have left this here. He was telling the same thing here. During a TV program, I asked her, the journalist is actually saying this, often you tell about the saint who has taken birth in India. I would like to know something about me. Please tell me. Florence held his right hand and said, very soon you will be broadcasting from another state. Nebel was an employee of a broadcast service and he started laughing on this comment of Florence. After a few moments, he said, you have cracked a good joke on me. If the officials of my company are watching this program, then whether I may go to another state or not, but for the time being, I will be definitely expelled from the company. Then he made this statement. Now he said, when Nebel picked up the phone, then he said, we have decided to commence broadcasting from New York. You only will be sent there. Keep this a secret at the moment. It will be declared tomorrow. I was watching your interview with Florence on TV. The boss is saying this. Whatever Florence has told about you is completely true. I'm surprised that how did she come to know about it? Nebel kept looking at Florence's face. Now that woman used to make very accurate predictions. He has proved this. She only used to make prophecies about that saint. See further. Some journalists had once asked her that how does she see the future and how does she locate missing people or things. Then Florence told them, I myself don't know how it becomes possible. I am telling a very important thing about the future. She used to say this repeatedly, that at the end of 20th century in India, around 1947, a light will emanate. That light will give information to the whole world about those divine powers that have remained mysterious for all of us until now. This light will spread in the whole world through a divine great man. He will inspire everyone to tread on this true path. A light of new thought will spread in the whole world. When I am in meditation, then often I see this divine great man. Florence has repeatedly mentioned about this saint or divine great man. Besides, she has also told that he is present in a holy place of northern India in Barwala. So by souls, a word to the wise is sufficient. Get your welfare done. The later you will come, the more you will repent. This is a golden chance. You have obtained this golden chance. Make the most of it. Sat Sahib. Hail Satguru Dev. All devotees are requested that the spiritual discourse is about to start. Please settle down peacefully at the discourse site and listen to the discourse with devotion. The loving souls of God are requested again that the spiritual discourse is about to start. Please settle down peacefully at the discourse site and listen to the discourse with devotion. Sat Sahib.
Viewers, the spectacular and supernatural spiritual discourses of the universe Guru Saint Rampalji Maharaj Ji have brought a revolution in the spiritual knowledge not only in India but also across the world. Millions of devotees have sent congratulatory letters for broadcasting our spiritual discourses. Along with this, a few devotees have sent in their doubts too. We met Sant Rampalji Maharaji for a solution to problems of devotees and answering their serious major problems. So let's listen to solution of all the queries of devotees offered by most revered Sant Rampalji Maharaji itself. So let's listen to solutions of all the queries of devotees offered by most revered Saint Rampalji Maharaji himself.
So, pious souls, how will we find out unless we are told about it? God himself came, lived here for 120 years and went back. We didn't know how to recognize the ruby, due to which we kept failing. And it is one thing to make a statement, but I will prove with evidence that in this world, no one possesses spiritual knowledge or any solution, and that there is no God like Kabir, and there is no knowledge like the one given by God Kabir himself to this servant of God, to this servant. Supreme Father God, Purna Brahma, Creator of the entire nature, God Kabir has bestowed a special grace on all of us human beings. He has himself come and given us this knowledge that why we are taking birth and why are we dying. The property and the offspring whom we strive to protect day and night, all this gets destroyed in front of our eyes. What is the reason behind this? Pious souls, there was no one who could impart this knowledge to us. As a result of which we could not see an alternative to this, we considered it to be final, that birth and death will continue. Today we realize this because no one could remove this question mark to date as to why we die and why we take birth. We form such a nice family and we have so much love in them, affection and attachment. And in a matter of a second, we lose everything. If sometime we get worried about this, then we conclude that this is happening with everyone. We have considered it to be a norm that this will definitely happen, but let us continue with our work. Which work shall we continue to do? Construct villas, bungalows, buy a luxurious car and then die. What kind of work was this? All the incidents that are happening with us, you see every day in any village or at anyone's home. Even we ourselves have faced many such incidents. So why is this all happening? So for that, God himself comes and enlightens us that we have come to this wrong world. God himself explains the true way of worship, the real process and procedure to get rid of this disease of birth and death. And for that, God himself comes along with his body from where he is residing. So God reminds us to peek a bit into the past and in the future, and not to limit ourselves to the present only. If we peek into our past, look into the past, then what does God state? God has himself come and imparted spiritual knowledge to his beloved soul Garib Das Ji. What has he said?
Bhai ag gaye na bavade.
Age means the ones who have already departed.
Aage gaye na bavade, ye rehte bhi sab jahi. बिन साहिब की बंदगी कहीं ठोर ठिकाना नहीं.
Our grandfather, great grandfather went away, and there is not even a trace of them anywhere. No one knows in which creature's body they might be suffering, and they had wished for their clan to prosper. Even their clan propagated, but what did they achieve? And where is the clan before them who have all died? There is not even a trace of them. So here God states, to explain to us,
क्या मांगो कुछ थिर न रहाई, ये देखत नैन चला जग जाई, 1,00,000 पूत 1,25,000 नाती, उस रावण के दीवान बाती.
on obtaining a child, even if you will share felicitations for 2 days, God says Ravan had 1 lakh. He had 1 lakh sons, and no one from his clan is alive today to light a lamp. There is no trace of him. His lineage got destroyed. He also died, and even his kingdom ended. So God wants to remind us, God has reminded us that this is the plight of whatever has happened in the past. You are currently witnessing that no living being is happy here, and everyone has a desire to become a millionaire, to become extremely wealthy, to build a magnificent bungalow, to buy a car, to be respected in the world, because this is what we have learned so far. So God says that even if you acquire all this, like there are many who have big bungalows, and as a result of their past virtues, they have big cars and they also have excessive wealth, and you also see that in a moment anybody can die. Wealthy businessmen are found dead inside their own helicopters after a crash. What will happen next? God cautions us for future.
फिर पीछे तू पशुआ कीजे गद्दा बैल बनाई, और ये 56 भोग कहाँ मन बोरे, कहीं कुर्डी चरने जाई.
We cannot believe it at the moment because we have all the comforts. And this Kal God has mechanized our mind in such a way that we are always thinking that work has to be done, that has to be done, that work is remaining, I will do that. So this is also inspiration of Kal, and he has constrained you. He has imposed so many responsibilities on you. And for what reason? For a stomach, for a subsistence. To keep this body safe, one has to build a house, wear clothes, and have food. All this is for the protection of the body so that it remains fine. And there is no guarantee when it might perish and for what reason.
तो यहां परमात्मा कहते हैं, कबीर ये तन जाएगा, सके तो ठहर ला, एक सेवा कर सतगुरु की और गोविंद के गुण गा.
One day this mortal body of yours will be destroyed, and as soon as the end of your human life will come, you will immediately perish, no matter how much work of yours is pending. At that instance, it will not be seen that your boy is not married or the girl is yet to be married. Kal will not see this. A devotee was telling that his maternal uncle had 5-6 girls, and due to the wrong tradition of dowry in our society, we have considered girls to be a curse on us. In their dowry, one has to make a lot of unnecessary expenditure, because of which he said that his maternal aunt had gone to invite people. The marriage of 3 girls had been kept at the same time. A person who has many daughters contemplates to bear all the expenses at once and wishes everything to go well. Now, how much burden would there be on the mind of a parent whose 3 daughters are about to be married? That parent is continuously engrossed in thoughts while walking somewhere. In this way, she was standing at the bus stand, engrossed in her own thoughts. I will bring such things, I will do like this, money will be available from there. Meanwhile, a bus driver was reversing his bus, reversed it incorrectly, and she got squashed between a pillar of the bus stand and the bus. She was unaware as she was engrossed in her own thoughts. She died on the spot, hence God says, at the time of your death, not even a single breath will be granted to you. Further, God says, God has provided a solution to this.
कबीर ये तन जाएगा सके तो ठाहर ला, एक सेवा कर सतगुरु की.
And then do worship as guided by Him.
गोविंद के गुण गा.
The meaning of Thahar is support. And so God says this human life of yours will end when the time comes and all your work would be left pending. To avoid this, you will have to take the support of the true mantra of God via the true Guru. After getting that support, your life will be extended. And that support too can only be obtained after taking refuge of Almighty God Kabir.
No one else, including Brahma, Vishnu, Shiv, Brahm and Parbrahm, is capable of extending your life. So here God says,
कबीर ये तन जावेगा और सके तो ठाहर ला.
Then that Thahar has been explained. Which Thahar?
एक सेवा कर सतगुरु की और गोविंद के गुण गा.
so God Himself has come and given that knowledge which is a special support, special way of worship by which God helps us. If on this occasion you will properly adopt this path and follow it throughout your life,
Then this is your last human life. You will become happy forever.
and reach Satlok, where there is no death, no illness, and no old age. The creation there is similar to what is here. This one is duplicate, that one is original. You will acquire a similar family there. You will remain happy forever. You will travel in aircrafts. Every person owns an individual aircraft there. They also have their respective massive gardens and bungalows. Pious souls, it is very easy to attain God. Due to ignorance, our religious gurus had made it very difficult. Our holy books state that it is a straightforward path. Absolutely simple. It is an ordinary path, way of worship. God's mantra has to be chanted. You will attain salvation through mantra.
It has some supportive activities. These are 5 religious rituals. You have to do these as well. This is what you have to do. Whatever service or duty God has given you in your family, keep doing that as well. You will succeed. When we become highly distressed because of not doing worship, until our virtues are going on, we are happy.
When the virtues finish, a mountain of miseries befall us. At that time, even a king thinks of taking the refuge of God alone. He knows that God is the supreme power and He makes a distressed person happy. If you will already be in the refuge of God, then miseries won't befall you. Until we come in the refuge of Supreme God Kabir, we receive the results of our previous deeds.
That is, we get the result of good and bad deeds that we performed in the previous lives, and when we come in the refuge of Supreme God Kabir through a Supreme Saint who is a recipient of his favor, then sins do not affect us.
We only get the results of our good deeds. And if there is some bad deed in our previous deeds that can cause harm to us, then God eliminates it. That is why we search for God. That is why we used to search for God, so that we do not face any hardship. We are doing worship and the hardships are also occurring. Then either that way of worship is not correct, that God is not complete, or there is some shortcoming in your worship. We face miseries solely due to these three reasons. So the purport is that God Himself comes and enlightens us. And it is your good fortune that you have already taken the refuge of God. Now that we have come in the refuge of God, then our everyday task will also be performed better than before, because when we are distressed, we go to God in search of happiness. Whether you have come in distress or happiness, now there will be no misery. And even if there will be any misery due to a harsh deed, it will be subdued by the grace of God. This is mentioned in God's qualities, and you will also attain Him here. Now the devotees who have come here in distress, they should not worry, thinking that we have remembered God now in misery only. How will our prayers be heard? It is for those who have not found God properly, who have not found a saint. And they invoke other gods because they could neither give you any benefit nor cause any harm. Which gods? Sri Brahma Ji, Sri Vishnu Ji, Sri Shiv Ji, the other 330 million deities under these, Sri Durga Ji, and Brahma and Parbrahma, who have been addressed as Kshar Purush and Akshar Purush respectively in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 16. They can only give you the result of your deeds, results of whatever virtuous deeds and sins you have committed. And to date, whenever you were happy, you never remembered God. And when you were distressed, you used to cry before these, and these gods have no capability. So God was narrating account of that time, that now you are crying before these gods. Who will listen to your appeals now? Today, you have come in the refuge of that God, in whose mantra Satnam. The meaning of Satnam is true mantra, right worship, right mantra. That is correct mantra, true mantra. It is called Satnam. The first mantra that is given to you is the original mantra. Nobody had any idea about it till now. Nobody had been able to find it out till now. So this had to be revealed now only. So whoever has received this mantra, even by doing its worship, you will receive many benefits, because the first and the last mantra in these 7 mantras that have been given to you for chanting, in these the first and the last mantra are destroyer of sins, and your earnings of virtuous deeds are enhanced by the middle mantras. And pious souls, today in this world there is no guru except this servant of God, let alone a Satguru. There is not even a guru. Like an ill person expects his illness to be cured, a childless person expects to have a child even if it is deemed necessary to grant you a child, then you will only get it here. No one else can grant it to you in the whole world. And if your illness has to be cured, then it will be done here itself and nowhere else in the world, and it will definitely be cured. Your illness will certainly be cured. As far as granting a child is concerned, if God wishes, then He can do anything. It has a long history. I will explain it to you some other time. Here there are thousands of such examples of couples who had been married for 10, 12, 15, 20 years and were still childless. These days, there are all kinds of physical treatments available with us. They had even exhausted all these measures. God granted a child to them too. It is not a big deal. But our and your main aim is to attain salvation. Now what does God say? That Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Radhe Sham, Sita Ram, Radhe Radhe, Sham Milade, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha, Gayatri Mantra. These mantras do not lead to salvation. These are futile, useless. In Gita chapter 16, verse 23-24, it has been clarified
that those who, abandoning the injunctions of the scriptures, follow arbitrary religious practices neither attain happiness, nor salvation, nor any spiritual power. Hence, it is useless.
Therefore, then in chapter 16, verse 24 of Gita, it has been clarified that Arjun, to ascertain which religious practice should be followed and which should be abandoned, consider the scriptures to be the yardstick. Do not rely on any folklore. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a yardstick of worship. Holy Vedas are the yardstick of our worship. Puranas are helpful to us in understanding the spiritual knowledge.
And the way of worship in accordance with the Vedas and Gitas that is present in the Puranas is from the Vedas and Gitas only. That we will acquire from them alone. The rest of the knowledge in the Puranas, which is the personal knowledge of a sage or a speaker of Puran that does not match with the knowledge of Vedas and Gita, is not acceptable to us.
Now the speaker of the knowledge of Gita says that my only mantra is one word, Om, nothing else. There is no other mantra. If anybody is chanting mantras other than this, they are wasting their time. They are only collecting stones rather than gems.
आइए अब हम उन श्रद्धालुओं के अनुभव जानते हैं जो जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी से दीक्षा प्राप्त कर चुके हैं तथा उनके द्वारा बताए गए भक्ति मार्ग पर चल रहे हैं।
Hello, sir.
Sat Sahib Ji.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Arjun Singh Patel.
Arjun ji, where are you from?
Chotka Keer from Kaimur in Bihar.
Arjun ji, what do you do?
By profession, I'm an advocate.
Arjun ji, what devotion did you used to do before taking name initiation from Sant Rampal ji Maharaj?
I took initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj in 2013.
Arjun ji, what devotion did you used to do before taking name initiation from Sant Rampal ji Maharaj?
Before taking name initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji, I was a devotee of Hanuman Ji. I never used to eat without reciting Hanuman Chalisa, without taking shower and without burning incense sticks. I used to worship a lot. I was a big devotee of Hanuman Ji.
Arjun ji, what was the reason that you came under the refuge of Sant Rampal ji Maharaj?
The reason was some disciples of Sant Rampal Ji came to me. Earlier I used to have a lot of intoxicants. I was of demonic nature. I used to eat meat too. I did not even used to practice law. I used to stay at home due to intoxication. I used to drink continuously for 2 to 3 days and used to drink 2 to 4 liters of liquor. Everyone in my village Jawar, even in the district, knew that Arjun drinks a lot. My father asked me to leave it and I said, okay, I will leave it. I tried a lot to leave the habit of intoxication but wasn't successful. I used to eat and drink a lot. But once a disciple of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji came to me and gave me the Gyan Ganga book and told me, Vakil Saab, read this book. I also used to read novels long ago. That's why I read the Gyan Ganga book in 24 hours. I read the entire book in 24 hours and found that Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji has written who is the father of Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh and the entire creation of the universe. After reading it entirely, I got carried away that my intoxication could also be quit. I was very happy that I'll get rid of my intoxication. Fine, I contacted the disciple of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj who gave me the Gyan Ganga book and asked me to take me wherever we have to go. He said that you have to go to Jind first and from Jind to Barwala and you have to come on this particular date. I said okay and I kept all the ganja which is used to fill in the chilam, all the liquor and tobacco in the packet for the way and said let's move. Then we reached Jind where the cab from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj's ashram had come to pick up all the disciples. In the cab they checked us and told me to throw away all the intoxicants that we were carrying. But I said that I will not throw it. They said no brother, throw it. The disciples of Saint Rampal Ji Maharaj asked me to throw it. I said that's fine, I will throw it, but I will take it while returning. They said, okay, take it while returning, but throw it for now. Then I went to the ashram and saw that Satlok ashram is written there. I felt my body is so light. I felt like I am in real Satlok and my body became lighter. I said, let's take initiation. I went there, but there were some rules. I read those rules, such as do not do intoxication, and this has to be done, and you will get the mantra. You have to chant it. I said that, okay, I will follow all rules, but I will get rid of intoxication? They said, yes, you will quit intoxication. Definitely your intoxication will end. Then I said, okay, fill the form of name initiation for me. Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji is coming. He is blessing everyone. I also bowed down to him. As soon as God, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, put his hand on my head, now I will surely call him God, because earlier I used to call him Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, but now he is our Guru. God and Guru is God only. As soon as he put his hands on me, I absolutely do not know what happened to me. Since that very day, Sirji, I got rid of my intoxication.
Sir, now tell us what are the benefits you got after taking name initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji.
Yes, sir, I got many benefits. I used to drink a lot. I used to drink 2 to 4 liters of liquor, which is 2 to 3 bottles in 24 hours like water. I used to smoke hemp and used to smoke cigarettes, and only after smoking a cigarette I could go to freshen up. If I did not smoke, then I would not be able to poop. I got the benefit that I got rid of this problem. There is one more advantage, that I joined the court and started practice. So whatever I earned, like I used to earn 100 rupees or 500 rupees, that money I was able to save because my intoxication was over. So I also got that financial benefit. One more benefit happened, that whatever God Sant Rampal Ji has written in Gyan Ganga book, when I matched it with the Vedas, Gita, scriptures, Upanishads, and with everything, no one other than God can write like that. So I also got the spiritual benefit. I had a problem in my heart. I went to the doctor and he asked me, what do you do? I said that, sir, I am an advocate. He said, have you consumed meat and liquor? I said, yes, doctor. I have used it a lot. Then he said that there is 80% blockage in your heart, and for this you will have to get an operation, and this operation will cost you at least 4 to 5 lakhs. I told the doctor that I can give 10 lakh rupees, but I am very afraid of the operation. If the operation is not successful, then I will die, but I want to live. Then the doctor says that it is okay, we will try to cure it without an operation, and he gave me a lot of medicines. I started eating 10 tablets or capsules in a day, but my condition worsened even while taking medicines. I have a colleague, senior advocate S.K. Singh, who said that, Arjun, don't eat so much medicine. I said, yes, sir, I'm also thinking that I will die just by eating all these medicines. Then I thought that now I will not eat it. So I threw out all the medicines. I have a report which I will show you. I threw away all the medicines and thought, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj is my guru. He is God and I am his disciple. I am in his refuge, and if he wants, I will live, or otherwise I'll die. But I am under his refuge. I will not get the operation done, and from that day I left the medicine, and God, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, cured me, and I'm fine now. And today I did not even drink alcohol, and my work in court is going well, and I'm eating well. I eat 8 to 10 breads a day. This is my report, which shows heart blockage. I had ECG done, and the blockage of 80% was shown in it. But by the mercy of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, I am fine. With his grace, my blockage is cured without any operation, you can see. If anyone would show it to the doctor, then he will say it's amazing how he is alive. But I am alive by the mercy of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. He is the only saint, and my Guru is my God who has cured me. I do not take any medicine. I have given up all medicines. There is one more benefit. I am an advocate by profession, but I am also a farmer. I also do farming by driving a tractor. Once I went out of town for 10 to 15 days. We went in book distribution service. There is a Gyan Ganga book written by Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, so we went to the Odisha Jagannath for book distribution service. Then someone from the village called me and gave the news that my field has dried up as it didn't rain there and there is no water anywhere and your paddy was dying. So I said, "It's okay, brother, let it end. What can we do now?" I thought that when I would go back, I would set it on fire and burn it. I have a wheat planter. It is called zero till. I thought I would sow seed using it, because if I get crops cut with a harvester, then it would also cost me. That's why I decided not to get it cut from the harvester. I thought that I would burn crops, I would put a matchstick and it would get burnt. I have a Sonalika 740 tractor. I thought I'll sow seeds again with my tractor and with the zero till. But in the night, I thought that Sant Rampalji Maharaj, my God, I'm in your service. I'm in your shelter. Then how could my field get dry and there is no water? I just thought this. God, Sant Rampalji Maharaj, I had thought about this thing at night. And the other night passed, and the next day it started raining a little. Little clouds came up in the sky, and it rained a little. Just like people say, it has rained to end dust. There was this much crack in the farm, and there was little rain, and with the mercy of Sant Rampalji Maharaj, dry paddy became green, and gradually it started getting yellow. That is the paddy ripened, and I got it cut with a harvester. Sir, I'm an advocate. I can say something wrong in the advocate profession, but I am a disciple of Sant Rampalji Maharaj and I am not lying. I got it cut from the harvester and Govind rice came out. Govind rice is a very small, fine rice. I sold the rice for 1,08,000 rupees, and then I had full faith in Sant Rampalji Maharaj that he is God. And sir, there are a lot of benefits. If I explain all the benefits, it'll take 24 hours. Night and day will pass while counting the benefits. Today I'm fine by the mercy of the Supreme God, Sant Rampalji Maharaj.
Arjunji, after taking initiation from Sant Rampalji Maharajji, you are leading better and happier life. So the audience who are watching you on TV today, what would you like to say to them?
I will request the viewers who are watching me on TV today, with folded hands, I would tell two things that end immediately by taking initiation. What? As I have experienced this, one is possession by evil spirits, which means if there is hindrance, it ends as soon as the name initiation is taken, and the other is intoxication. What can I say about intoxication? You can take my phone number and go to my home and find out what I was earlier. People will tell you that I was a lawyer only for namesake. I used to do drugs. After quitting it, I started advocating. I started earning. All my brothers, colleagues, mother and sisters who are watching my interview on TV, it is my request to leave everyone. Sant Rampalji Maharajji has come to this earth. Take initiation from him and get your welfare done.
Sir, how can one take initiation from Sant Rampalji Maharajji?
Sant Rampalji Maharajji's satsang come in different TV channels. There are 13 TV channels on which Sant Rampalji Maharajji's discourses are telecated, and there is a yellow stripe running below during the satsang in which the contact numbers are shared. By calling on those numbers, you will get to know about the nearest name initiation center, because in every district initiation centers of Sant Rampalji Maharaj have been established, and by contacting that center you can take initiation.
Thanks, sir.
Sat Sahib Ji.
You were listening to the auspicious discourses of Jagadguru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampalji Maharaj. For more details, visit our website www.jagadgururampalji.org. With the blessings of Sant Rampalji Maharaj, there are more than 500 Naam Diksha centers all over the world, where free online initiation is being given. To know about your nearest Naam Diksha center, please contact 8222 880541.